We actually had one called the Choosin'. We had to drop it because it was just too close.
Too close. Okay.
Yeah, they got started a little before the Choosin'. We're very big on just slightly tweaking things and making it our own.
Yeah, it's Texan though, so CHOOSIN apostrophe. The Choosin'.
Yeah.
The Choosin'.
Howdy, Jesus. Shalom. Well, howdy, y'all. This is the Beatitudes. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the Beatitudes. I'm Jeff Scheffelbein. I'm going to stop with this accent. I can't do it. I tried.
He's wearing a very Texas shirt right now, and so he's trying to lean into it.
How would you describe very Texas, Paul?
Well, the whole shirt is basically a Texas flag, so it's pretty amazing. Like, you went to Six Flags and stole one of them and sewed it into a shirt.
I'm a ride.
Yes. A wild, wild ride, yes.
It is a roller coaster.
As a co-host, yes.
Yes.
It is a roller coaster on this side of the table.
Welcome, everybody. Din, 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 din.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Wow, that was like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I think longer than that. Yeah.
Like an 08
but wasn't
commercial.
Okay, so my name is Jeff Scheffelbein. Welcome to the Beatitudes. This is a show for Christian men looking to grow in humor and holiness as we follow God's will in our life without taking ourselves too seriously, but taking our faith very seriously. And thinking of very seriously, I'm joined by co-host Nick Besner.
I'm Nick Besner, and this is my very serious intro.
God bless you. And Paul Colker.
Howdy. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
There you go. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
One time I had relatives visiting from Chicago. This is no joke. I was probably 10 years old, and they're like, we want to see cowboys. We want to see, they don't talk like that. However they talk. What is it? Show us some cowboys. Bang, bang.
1920s New York.
Big city. Huh?
Extra. Show me some cowboys.
Where's all the newsies at? So anyways, they're like, we want to see cowboys. And I'm like, well, they don't exist unless we go to the stockyards. Like, that's not like my life. I live in a real city. And we go to Hewlin Mall on the south side of Fort Worth, and I'll be a monkey's uncle if there isn't a man slowly riding on a bull across during the red light to go to the mall. And I'm like, I've never seen this in my life. This isn't fair. This is not Texas. But took his bull to Hewlin Mall.
Speaking of
welcome to Alex Trevino for being here, our guest.
That's probably the most random 2 minutes of my life I've ever experienced.
You can't get it back?
Buckle up.
Yeah.
It only gets worse.
No idea what to expect.
It only gets worse from here, yeah.
Worse?
I mean, better.
Okay, great.
They're synonymous.
Awesome.
They're synonymous. Speaking of worse, this shirt does not breathe. So let's stay focused here. I am sweating. I'm wearing a flag.
As we all are in
thick
Texas
material.
right now, so
Yes.
Right. This is a very Texas
you're just getting
thing.
into character, you're just really feeling it.
Alex,
He's already justifying our craziness. That's awesome.
he's the person when you get off the roller coaster, he's like, is everybody okay?
Does anybody need orange slices or an ecto cooler?
Brought me back to like elementary school soccer.
Yeah, that's right.
Orange slice.
Snack time. You were just on the Beatitudes. Have a snack. Just come on, cool down. There's no need to be so hyped up right now.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Beatitudes. You have a hand in this place, right? When I was thinking about moving into this office and talking to you, you are a video, sound, personal brand. I don't even know how to explain you. You're like a guru of this kind of stuff, like being a thing.
Yeah, video production, marketing, acting, film production, video production, branding, all of the above.
If we put you on the spot and made you do a monologue right now, do you have one ready to go?
It's been a while, so no.
Okay.
Being honest, I mean,
Paul,
yeah.
do you have a monologue ready to go?
No, I don't. I should.
Do you know at one point the monologue, and I don't have this ready to go, that I had worked out was Matthew McConaughey in what's the John Grisham novel?
The Firm?
He was one with the little girl in Mississippi.
Yeah.
And at the end he says, now imagine she's white. And they all like had that like I had that thing memorized, but if I tried to do it now, it would just turn into A Few Good Men.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah, that she was white. That's like I'm just putting it all together. Okay, acting. Let's go all the way back to acting. Is that a current part of your life? That's the past.
That's the past, and it's trying to find a way to make itself current and future. And I've been putting it off for a very long time.
perhaps the Beatitudes listening are going to cause that to accelerate.
Perhaps. I don't know if that's going to be a great thing or a terrible thing, but it's creeping back into my life right now.
I love telling stories and pumping up my friends, but I'm not too big into details. So I've made up a bunch of stories about the different things that you've appeared.
Well, I hope at least some of them are real.
Oh, they're pretty awesome. Well,
Okay.
They might be real, but they're all awesome.
They're all great? Okay,
yeah,
good.
people around town are like, the dude's legit. What kind of acting work were you doing?
Back in the day, down the street, University of Dallas. I mean, we studied drama, a lot of Shakespeare, medieval Greek and Roman tragedies, some modern stuff. I mean, I met my wife doing A Midsummer Night's Dream. She was one of the lead roles, Helena. And that's something we have in common. I was also a dancing fairy. Your stage was a lot bigger than mine. I will say that theater. It's a
Seems
thrust
like
stage.
you just put that out there for people that have never watched this show before. There's
If you run into Jeff, just ask him about
Ask him about the
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yes.
So we got that in common.
So you were, which one were you? Cobweb?
I think they dropped all of our names. I was just the one that had like short skirt, bald head, strapless, like it was an Indian themed fairyland. So I had like all these beads all around my head and stuff.
Yes.
There's pictures on Facebook. So if you want to dig down deep enough, you'll find them.
Or just share them with us. We'll put them in the show notes.
That's
so
fine
wait,
too.
so you were acting, you're stage acting, and your wife is Helena.
Yeah.
And then that's how you started to date?
That's how we met. We met there.
Did
and
you
we
meet
weren't,
in
we
the
weren't
very
friends.
dead center of the summer?
No, we met.
Oh. That would have been. I mean, no, it's
it was
like
the
the longest
of fall,
day.
Middle of fall, actually. is
Oh,
when we met,
Midsummer
yeah.
Falls
But
Eve.
it's weird though. Something that I do is I remember days very, very well. I met her September 13th, 2009. I met her at 10:30 p.m. We were walking across the street, and a mutual friend introduced us. I remember exactly what she was wearing. I remember all of that. She couldn't probably even tell you the year that we met.
Bravo, my man. I was going to play some like sappy music. Like,
Well, she obviously really cares, so that's really cool, Alex.
Thanks.
We all can do that.
She doesn't even know my middle name.
But yep, I
Okay.
remember the day.
And then you just started dating in college and took off. And
About 6 months later. Yeah,
did she say,
took a
it's me or acting, Alex? What's it going to be?
She did.
No, really?
No, I'm kidding. No, we're not going there. Not in this show. Yeah.
All right, let's open up this can of worms.
There you go. Yeah, no. She was very supportive because she stopped being interested in it right when I started getting interested in it, and actually started getting good parts and things like that.
Nice.
So it worked out really well.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
you
'cause
could
just
play
imagine
it-
two like dramatics, being dramatic on stage. It doesn't end well. So
No,
it
we need a
worked out really well.
counterbalance. Yeah.
It worked out great.
My Amanda is definitely not somebody who's going to jump on stage in Midsummer Night's Dream and or dance off Broadway. So got a good counterbalance. Yeah, thanks be to God. What's your dream? If you get suckered back into the acting world, your dream role is something like...
That's a great question. I haven't thought about that in a long time. I don't want to share a whole lot. I've been developing over the past few years a story from the New Testament that has not really been done before in the way that I've been developing it for like the last 5 or 6 years. And that was something that I was, in the middle of developing when then everything acting wise kind of fell apart for me.
Sure.
Wasn't really doing it anymore. And so I've just been feeling called to jump back into that project.
Nice.
Don't you feel, Paul, like me, you, and Nick have a lot in common with Alex now, because we started developing something a little while back, and it's on the Sea of Galilee, where all these dudes gather around and learn how to live in the Beatitudes. And so we're kind of like expressing that part of the New Testament that's often over...
Yeah. It's the exact same line that I'm thinking.
Thanks for lying to indulge us.
He's a good actor.
It's an aspect that I don't think it has been quite figured out on the show, but together we'll have it like fully.
There you go.
He is a good
It's gonna be
actor.
great.
Yeah.
I actually
sold
felt
us.
very
You
connected
felt
to that.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Good.
Something like we were gonna call it something like The Chosen or
Yeah.
yeah.
Never heard of that.
No? Yeah?
I think
Okay.
it's a great idea.
We
do it.
actually had one called The Choosin'. We had to drop it because it was just too close.
Too close. Okay.
Yeah, they got started a little before The Choosin'. We're very big on just slightly tweaking things and making it our own.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Texan though, so CHOOSIN apostrophe. The
Choosin'.
Chosen.
Yeah.
Well, chosen.
Howdy, Jesus. Shalom. Your career, let's keep going on this path. You graduate from the University of Dallas.
Yeah. Before that, I worked on a movie for 6 months,
What?
and that's what really changed my life.
What was it?
That movie's Little Boy. It's a
Little
World War II
Boy.
drama. Came out about
Whoa.
7-8 years ago at this point. I was on that shoot for 6 months, and we shot that movie. I was like the assistant to the assistants on that movie, right? And on that movie, we got to shoot it on the exact location where James Cameron made like 90% of Titanic in Baja California, Mexico. So, you know, we would be like taking breaks and there'd be a basketball court right outside of the shoot, like right outside of the set. And that's where Leonardo DiCaprio had his basketball court. So like it's still standing there today.
No way.
So it's just really cool, you know, like little lifeboats from the Titanic, you know, we're all over the place. It's a really cool experience. But, you know, I got 2 really cool jobs on that one that I kind of had to take care of on them for the most part. One, I got to actually drive the film, like the actual 35 millimeter film, from the shoot to LA every other weekend. Whoa. So I had like a multi-million-dollar film with my responsibility being driven across the border.
You weren't like on a moped, right?
No, I was in my car, yeah.
Vespa.
On the border. Oye, por favor. Please.
Do you speak Spanish?
I do, fluent, so it was easy back and forth.
Nice.
Yeah, worked out great.
$1 million.
Yeah.
That's my Spanish.
Good job.
You could have done my job.
That's your new accent, Jeff.
With the Texas shirt would have been something else.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
True story. I bought this shirt in Fort Worth with 5 other people. They all bought the exact same shirt, and we all wore them in downtown Fort Worth. And everybody would go, "Where are you guys from?" And we go, "Dallas, San Antonio, Fort Worth." And they're like, "No, where did you come from?" We're like 30 minutes away. Why are you all wearing Texas?
They thought you were a band or something.
It was terrible.
Oh, man.
My father-in-law was part of that.
Couldn't
and,
possibly be from here.
Yeah, no. Why would you ever wear your own? Yeah,
Just mental terrorism.
that's right. It's like wearing a Beatitudes shirt
it's
on
a
the
psyop.
Beatitudes. Mental terrorism.
Going in so many tangents. I love this show. This is fantastic. Love it.
You first-time
so
listener, long-time guest.
Yeah,
is what I'm
yeah,
thinking.
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's
You've been listening as long as you've been a guest.
It's a semi-baptized stream of consciousness is
wonderful.
basically what we do.
What was that old meme? I was this many days old. Like Alex was this many minutes old when he started listening to the show.
Yeah, pretty much. It's okay.
It's here. Okay, keep going on this. So you expand your horizons after this. Keep going.
Yeah, so that movie led to, I met a lot of different people on that movie. It was made by a bunch of Catholics. The guys who made the movie Bella, that was their second movie. So, you know, got to meet a lot of awesome people, got to work on a lot of projects after that, graduated school, came back and finished.
Nice.
And then, you know, developed that, came to Texas like you, did a bunch of, you know, commercials, things like that.
Yeah.
Then started having kids, you know, got a little more difficult to kind of balance all that because I was just being pulled in all these different directions. So I said, okay, well, what am I really good at? Telling stories. And I know how to use a camera. Okay, well, whose stories can I tell? People who have money. Who has money? Business owners. I realized a lot of business owners don't have money later, so that wasn't necessarily true.
Foiled again.
Yeah, boom. But, you know, in like my young creative mind, I'm like, I'm just going to ask like a brick and mortar, like, hey, do you need a video of like, you know, me following you around for a day? And we'll post it on Facebook and throw like $100 in ads on it. I'll do it for like $500, you know? And that's how I literally started working behind the camera.
It's entrepreneur right there.
Yep.
That's it.
And doing stuff for free, doing stuff for cheap, screwing people over, getting screwed over. I mean, I learned so many.
I feel like you're showing me right now because the rate you gave me was $500 an hour, not $500 a project.
We should have talked 7 years ago.
Got to get in.
I was happy to pay you. You
Yeah.
make great stuff. So you're worth triple that for the next person.
That's great. And it just took, you know, like, I mean, today on Instagram, I did post a video about just what took, you know, what I've learned over the last 7 years. And it was really the realization that anything that goes wrong in my business just always ends up being my fault, whether I like it or not. And that was something that was a hard pill to swallow when I realized that 2 years ago. And I think that's where in growing this business from being a video production company to adding more strategy and more consulting to now a full-fledged sort of marketing agency.
Nice.
That's the big thing that I've learned along the way is that if I don't like something in my business, it's my fault.
Alex, if somebody hears that and they are trying to internalize that with their own work, how would you guide them or at least reflect on your own part, like that doesn't become a place of self-loathing? Like my fault can have a different bent for some people.
Well, yeah, because it's not the point of being like, okay, you need to find what's wrong with your business and then just start blaming yourself. What it does, it helps you create the solution and to get to the actual long-term solution. Once you identify that, you know, you pretty much are the root of all the problems that happen in your business.
Yep.
That's what I've learned from my experience.
Because fault is just really, I mean, when you're saying that, it sounds like a loaded statement, but it's the other side of the responsibility coin.
The responsibility coin, yeah.
Right? Because as soon as you say, well, that's my fault, well, now I'm empowered really to solve the problem because I'm not stuck in a place of blaming something else or someone else.
Right. In the first 5 years, I spent that time blaming everyone else except for the guy that I was like staring at in the mirror. If that makes any sense. I never looked at that guy. And that's in 2021. I remember exactly where it was. I was at a course and I heard this line, and that's when I went home at night and literally looked at myself in the mirror and was like, this makes a lot of sense.
That was
like,
me.
yeah.
Not looking in the mirror, that's weird for an actor, though. Right?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of looking at my own performances.
Oh,
Is
that's
it-
fair. You kind of want to let them go.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it
They're not mine.
easier to blame yourself because you don't have any employees, or do you have employees?
I have, yeah.
It actually is my fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird that it took so long to come to this realization.
Right. Yeah.
Fired.
No, thankfully right now I'm blessed with incredible contractors.
Sure.
And incredible people who help me bring all these things to reality. And it's been a really good exercise in me sort of letting go of things in my business and figuring out how to, replace myself in the business so that I can work on meeting people and getting to know people. That's where I feel like my strength is as a business owner is
Working
connecting
on the
with
business.
people.
Yeah.
Can we put in a plug for your business now? How do people find you?
Yeah, so the easiest way, Instagram at Alex Trevino 1989. That's where I post a lot of my own personal brand.
You and
business
Taylor
owner,
Swift.
all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
both of us together. That's right. She probably has like 100 million more followers than I do, but
Come on.
combined we have 100 million and 1,000.
Alex,
It's a lot.
when I hear you, that's your fault.
It is my fault. So look in the mirror.
All
What
right.
can I do about it? All right. See, this is good. This is how it works. Because now, next time we talk, I don't care if I have to buy them or whatever. I'm going to have a lot more followers now.
What's the name of your business?
Project 36.
Where does that come from?
Comes from me being from the city of San Antonio and with Texas. And the Battle of the Alamo occurring in the year 1836.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. And
Always remembered it.
1836.
I got you.
And the idea is I want to give, business owners in the state of Texas a sense of freedom and a sense of independence.
Nice.
And the sense of, I don't have to be in my business all day long, editing videos, creating my own content, coming up with a strategy that can, all of the different problems that come to marketing, we can take care of that for you.
I'm also picturing you in the Battle of the Alamo, and friendly fire was a big thing back then, and actually stab somebody with your bayonet on accident, be like, my fault. That's my fault.
It'd be weird for it'd be weird for me because I'm half Mexican, half not Mexican.
so-
I don't know what side I'd be
Just
on.
fight everybody.
You just
stab everybody.
360. Like,
Just keep running back and forth.
Yeah.
When this thing's over,
Everybody's
I will
gonna want
win.
to kill this guy. You keep killing everyone from both
If
sides.
Alex stays alive, he wins.
Stephen F. Austin and Santa Ana, both in my way.
Wow,
Boom.
that is something else.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, let's keep the good times going. Maybe we can get you to judge us a little bit on something we want to pull out, a game that we'd like to play with you.
Called-
And
Great.
Blessed are the joke makers, for they shall inherit the 77 points.
77 points. This is really big. Hey, Alex, so I don't know if you've seen the show. Paul's going to explain this to you, and then you got to get judgy, like you're the casting crew.
Great. I love judging people.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So we've got a character card here, the green card with a mask on the back, and we've got to act as that character to answer the Catholic card game question or prompt or fill in the blank, whatever it is. So the character we have to take on is just a cartoon character.
I just did. Whoops. I've always done that.
Yeah. So as a cartoon character, and I guess that means in any of them or all of them, none of them, you have to answer the prompt. My old Catholic grandma is known for blank.
Oh, my old Catholic grandma is known for making pancakes that look just like me. Oh! Pretty cool, right?
Maybe adjust the volume settings on that one when you produce the episode. That was powerful.
I'll take that as a compliment. You ever had Mickey Mouse pancakes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this went full circle.
That was great.
3 of them, actually.
3
Circles.
circles. Okay. Just went back to first grade there. Wow.
Syrup. Paul?
My grandmother is known for praying rosaries for me.
Root and Tootin' Rosaries.
Is that Porky Pig?
I was going for that, but
Yeah.
I kind of fell off halfway through. That's my fault, though.
That's your fault. That was like Porky Mammal.
Thanks. Yeah.
Because he switched a little.
Yeah. I like that.
I do too.
Well, gosh, my grandma was known for always having the extra bones to play with in the backyard.
He's so goofy.
Oh, I've got one more. Sorry, just gonna toss this in there.
Can I say this real quick? Like y'all, the actors on this side, his eyes like just what got the most into like what he was doing than
He
anybody.
snapped into the next
And
level.
That was awesome. Yeah, that was nice.
Hey,
Thank
as
you.
the assistant to the assistant that's producing the show, you can spot that talent that he did with his
Immediately.
eyes.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Okay. I just have one more about my old Catholic grandma. Okay, so that's it.
She did that though, for real?
Yeah.
Gosh, I didn't know that. Like, is that a true story or just acting about her?
No, that's true. Yeah, it really hurt every time.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
hard, man. I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
All right, Alex.
Alex, what's it gonna
Who's getting those 77
I
big
just-
ones?
Who's giving the 77?
Yeah, all of them.
I can't divide them up.
No, dude, this is
but
the
that's-
judge part. And
said
right
you were
now,
so
I-
good.
I-
You
you're
said you were so
failing.
Oh yeah,
good
that's
at
right.
judging.
I'd
Yeah.
seen the show so many times. I knew that I could divide the. Yeah, that's right.
You got to cast one person
Yeah.
for this part, for the part of most ridiculous.
It's gonna be Nick.
Yeah.
Yep.
do that
Let's
dance,
go.
Nick. Do that dance. Mickey and Goofy.
Gosh, I
Donald.
shouldn't have. I wouldn't have thought that I was gonna win.
My goodness. I think that's whatever the female Goofy is. Giffy.
What?
Definitely not.
I'm trying to think of Mickey and Minnie.
Yeah, I see what
Yep.
you did there.
Goonie.
Go-
Hey, brother.
failed Disney character.
It's my fault, Paul.
Yep.
That's the new punchline of this whole show. Well, speaking of not my fault, you did an awesome job judging, regardless of the outcome. We're proud of Nick. We're proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Passive aggressive.
Yeah.
Regardless.
I don't know
Feeling
that
that.
with this life that I've lived, that if I say anything, it's not taken as passive aggressive.
Or just that it doesn't sound that way. Maybe that's your fault, Jeff.
It's my fault. Here's something not passive aggressive. You earned big time a pair of Catholic socks. from
Oh, my first
Sacrilegious.
ones. No way.
I'm glad you didn't say that in front of our previous guest. You're getting San Jose Sanchez del Rio, who was part of the Cristeros War and shouted out the I will never give in, long live Christ the King and Our Lady of Guadalupe, walked with his bare feet
Yeah.
bleeding down the road.
Know him quite well. He's awesome.
Brother.
Which
Great
is why
saint.
the socks are red
Oh,
on
and
the
the
feet.
Yeah, we just
Wow,
learned
look
that
at that. Yeah.
off air.
All the symbolism.
But given your Santa Anta / Sam Houston, do you want me to rip these apart and get another pair of like
Rip those and put like some of your Texas flag on one
Yeah,
side.
so we can-
Call it even. Yeah. I'd say that.
Awesome.
Sweet.
Beatitudes,
Oh,
if you
these
want
are
to get
great.
your own pair of sacrilegious socks, including the martyrs from the Cristeros War, go to sacrilegious.com/beatitudes and you can get 10% off your next order of socks. We will be right back after the break with more of Alex Trevino. Hey y'all, this is Jeff Scheffelbein. When Nick and I set out to start our new company, Undivided Life, we were really concerned about how would we cover the healthcare needs of our growing families, and we were so excited to find a company that fit both our medical needs and our faith beliefs perfectly. It's called Solidarity HealthShare. It is an ethical alternative to traditional health insurance. We're never part of sharing in the medical costs of anything that goes against the teachings of the Catholic Church, making it a great alternative for Catholics and Christians alike. Solidarity is very affordable, which is perfect for a large family or for a new and growing business like the one we've started. So visit joinsolidarity.com today so that you can get started with us.
Let me tell you about Decided Excellence magazine. Decided Excellence is a great resource reaching thousands of families in your local community. They've got original content featuring local families and notable theologians like Scott Hahn. If you're looking to grow in a specific way, they can be a great partner for that as well. They partner with thousands of parishes creating parish magazines. If you're a business owner, Decided Excellence can be a great way to advertise to homeowners right there in your backyard. And if you're looking to earn a little bit of extra income, Decided Excellence has a partnership program where you can become the owner and publisher of your local magazine. So partner with Decided Excellence and begin growing together today.
Hi, it's Paul Kolker from the Beatitudes here, and I just wanted to share with you guys that I also, outside of the show, perform improv comedy on a regular basis with a group called Divine Comedy. So what we do is we come up with everything on the spot, so whether you're looking for faith-filled, fun, family-friendly comedy for your youth night, or whether you're looking for clean comedy for your corporate event, Divine Comedy can perform for your group and even get you in on the action. So if you'd like to hire us to come out and perform for your next event, check out DivineComedyImprov.com. Divine Comedy, an inferno of fun.
Welcome back, everybody. We're here with Alex Trevino. Trevino.
You know,
With the tilde?
With the tilde. Exactly.
Tilde.
with the tilma. With Alex Trevino
see.
with the tilma.
No.
In the first
Tilde.
No, tilde.
in the first segment,
Tilde.
you mentioned being part of the film called Little Boy. As a little boy, did you know that you wanted to be a creative and filmmaker?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I was a total jock in middle school and high school. I wanted to be an engineer. I wanted to build roller coasters. I literally wanted to go work for like Walt Disney Imagineering or something similar to that. That was my dream. And in junior year of high school, I literally lived the life of Troy Bolton in High School Musical. I was him.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what happened.
You would sing in the cafeteria?
We didn't go that far.
Oh, okay.
It's not it wasn't an actual Disney
You
movie.
could cry on command.
Yeah, sure. Yes, absolutely, I could. And we did dance in cafeteria. I'm just going to say yes to everything now.
My wife
Improv, right?
loved
Like, yes,
watching
and,
you
right?
on Disney Channel.
Yes, absolutely. But no, it ended up working out not exactly like the movie, because in the movie he gets to do both the show and and win the game. I only got to pick one, so I picked the show, not the game. That's how it worked out for me, at least.
Because real life.
Real life, you don't get to get both choices. And
Yeah, not all
Sure.
the time, right? Like it's not always going to fall into place like a Disney movie. Yeah.
Seems like a biography's in the works. I picked the show, not the game.
Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Yeah.
Love the show.
Wow.
Subtitle, it was my fault.
That's awesome. So what kind of work are you doing? Who are you working for? Like, give us a sense for like, what's a client like day in the life?
Clients are all over the place right now, and that's because I've been kind of trying, just the different facets of owning a marketing agency put me in a bunch of different situations. But
Sure.
the ones where I'm most comfortable with right now, and who I'm really working with, are either small business owners or more particular, anybody in the real estate profession, loan officers, realtors, brokers who are looking to build their personal brand on social media and just kind of have no idea where to start because they think, oh, it's overwhelming. It's going to take me too much time. I don't know how to make a plan for it. How do I shoot it all? It takes me 20 takes to make a video, and then I got to edit it, and then I got to distribute. Like, all those questions come up.
Fascinating.
And, I kind of hold their hand as much as they want me to throughout that process, right? And make a 12-month plan for them. Here's what you're going to do for a whole year in order to build your personal brand. And
Nice.
it's a market right now while we're shooting this that, is not going super well for them, which means it's the best time to be promoting yourself on these places.
We talked earlier about your Instagram. I'm not on Instagram. How does somebody find your website?
Project36.com.
Okay, I thought you were going to say don't call me.
It's myfault.com.
You are not the target market.
Trademark that. I got to trademark that.
Yeah,
gotta be
it's
my thing.
myfault.com. It's going to lead you to some
But for
interesting new clients.
But for clients, I don't really mess up ever.com.
Yes. That's awesome.
I make
Oh my
I make
gosh.
your success my fault.
Ooh, yeah.
Nice,
And I'm
nice.
good at it.
Yes.
Hey,
Y'all are
so
never
there-
going to let this go.
so there's
I feel
this-
like I'm going to be.
just going to high
It's
five you
your
in the.
fault. Right, yeah.
So there's this piece of it, right? There's real estate and like some kind of like as a personal brand, but then is there any like selling the investment story or anything like that?
What do you
Well, I just
He left private equity.
yeah, I know
and they-
that you were working with Satori.
brand videos and things
Yeah.
like that. That's the world that I started in. That's the world, that I feel very comfortable in as well. Those clients just haven't really come in as often as they used to. But there's definitely, there's a couple of Catholic projects I'm working on right now that are, in the six figures where it's, we need to create a series of videos and those have a ton of logistical issues. A ton of planning issues, scheduling. I mean, those are big beasts to deal with, and those are fun because I get those maybe like once a year, once every 18 months, but they're big projects and they take a long time. Like that one, That one has taken 6 months to plan out. We're going to shoot it over the course of 2 months, and it's going to take about 6 to 8 months to edit.
And that ends up on major networks and that kind of stuff too. The Catholic world.
That one's going to be distributed to churches, schools, dioceses, things like that. It won't be like that. It's a nonprofit project.
Got it. Yeah, I just know you're in a lot of projects.
So it's more than just like
more of them. Yeah.
It's more than just like the single realtor.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
Like,
it's also like a Catholic organization or any organization in general who says, "Hey, we have this series of like one that I worked on was 180 videos talking about 180 different aspects of the Catholic faith."
Whoa.
That one never got done, and that one I
really
know
why.
never got done because it was
zero that shouldn't have been on there.
That one was not my fault.
Tell us your
Just letting y'all know.
180-point plan.
That one was not my fault, I will say. And I'm not going to get into that here.
Sure.
But that one wasn't. It was an awesome project to work on because it was massive. It had the potential to do a lot of really good in the Catholic Church, and it fell through for reasons I can't control. And it was pretty unfortunate just because it would have been an extremely impactful project.
Well, so I like what you said there, though, for reasons you can't control, because there's a value in taking responsibility for as much as you reasonably can, right? Because otherwise you can't change certain things. But I do think it's important to also realize that flip side is that there are just certain factors that you have to just surrender essentially and just say, all right, Lord, I guess that particular thing was not on the radar for you right now.
Yeah. And on that one, like I'll just put it this way. It put me in a position where I had to compromise my faith.
Oh, yeah.
It's a very different situation.
Right.
Than, the whole it's my fault thing we've been talking about for the past, it feels like hours now. That one's different.
Feeling the heat of the Beatitudes studio.
Yeah, heat. Let's go. That one was different, and that one was because it put me in a position, where I had to make a choice based on.
I think in the creative space you end up in a lot of that gray area, and sometimes you just have to roll with it because there's like what is the greater good? What's the lesser of two evils? There's decisions you're making and calibrations that are usually of not a large nature, but it's also watching the slippery slope that you don't end up in a complete scenario that is antithetical to your faith and your beliefs, because we need good people in bad places.
Absolutely.
We need lights in the world in the middle of Hollywood, wherever.
You and I, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, of just this danger of making a bubble that just gets way too small and way too more like a castle on a hill with a moat and nobody in, nobody out. And we're not all called to do that.
Yeah, that's the kind of place though that if you do build it, just put all your lights under bushels, because that's what you're doing.
Nice. Yeah, because we're called to be salt and light. So taking that out into the world and being that leaven,
right.
Okay, I want to jump into a TBD question, if I may. So this is one of these questions, the Beatitudes question. The only answers can't be TBD. You got to actually answer the question. So the question that we have for today, a little bit more on the fun side, perhaps you would call it the quirky side, Paul.
Quirky.
Is tell us about a personal...
Quirky?
What?
Quirky?
Quirky.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, the quirky side.
QWERTY, which is just the top of your keyboard. Why don't we... Tell us, do you know what the longest letter you can write, the longest word you can write across the top letter of a typewriter is?
Race car?
Typewriter.
Oh.
Look it up. Okay, isn't that cool? QWERTY, typewriter.
Okay.
It's like a really cool thing they did when they invented the typewriter. They gave me fodder for the Beatitudes.
They knew what they were doing.
Hundreds of years
Race
later.
car is one you can type all with one hand, I think.
I can type anything with one hand.
Okay. I feel like I can type a lot of words with one hand. Yeah.
Okay, sorry. Nick's like, he's going to kick me under the table. It's just going to take a while.
Ow.
He'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Okay. The question is, tell us about a personal quirk or two. Just a couple things about you. I'm happy to go first.
I'd love to go first.
Oh, nice.
See, I think about this a lot.
That's a quirk.
Yeah, that's my quirk. No, I saw this in like some interview somewhere, and another word that I have for it, another way to call it, I'm like hijacking your show now and just taking it over.
No, go for it.
It's
We're gonna take a nap.
It's like, okay, it's the way I've described it. It's like your serial killer trait.
Wow.
It's like the thing that, like, if it comes out that you were a serial killer,
that's
like
gonna make mine even better.
We knew why. This is it.
We should have seen it all.
Yeah,
so
we should have seen
sense.
it. Right?
Dude,
That's
you
it.
have put some thought into this.
Yeah. The TBD thing, I don't know. It gelled.
I love it.
I got it.
I love it.
All right, I love this.
Yeah. So mine is like I count an obsessively amount of times throughout the day. So it's like, for example, like if I'm like driving and I'm on like a bridge, right? And it's like not like a little bridge on the overpass. Like I'm on a bridge that, it's like on an intersection, and you feel like the thumps on the road.
Yeah.
I try and guess how many of those there's just going to be on that bridge. And I like make a bet with myself. Like there's going to be like 19.
Have you ever lost?
I'm always pretty close. It's
Okay.
weird. Yeah. Or
Really
like,
dialed that in.
I've dialed. I've been doing it since I was like 5. I got it dialed in. That's my quirk.
Wait,
This is a 19 bump bridge.
On a bridges or like, and then I memorize like how many lines there are, or like, when you see like
getaway.
a building, like, how many lines of this thing are on, on the street here, or like on this building there, like that kind of thing. I'm always finding myself, like counting them and then remembering all those weird quirks.
Serial
about
killer.
these. Yep. That's my serial killer trait.
Wait, how many times a day would you say you count?
Like things like that, or like, how many steps is going to take for me to get from, the lobby to your room?
Do you count?
Like,
How many?
that's
how
how
many
many count.
He's asking how many counts
Yeah, yeah.
do you do of counts?
How many counts of those? I dozens.
Can
Like
I tell you a
dozens.
quick driving story that I just have to share?
Yeah,
Tell me if I already told you all this, but I was driving one of those fancy cars that tries to stay in the lane.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did I tell you all this?
No.
We're in Houston.
Oh, yeah.
I'm driving Nick around, and I feel like an old man that's lost it. Like this. My arms are shaking. The car's shaking. He's shaking.
I had to take Dramamine. I was like, I'm
He
car sick. as a
quietly took
result
it without
of
saying a
this.
word because he's like, old man Jeff's lost it. The car, Houston has grooves in the roads for slipping, and the car recognized each one of those as a line, a bumper. So it was auto-correcting me a couple times a second, and we looked like we were messed up.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And I was
Wow.
like, my whole body's shaking, it's jiggling, I don't work out very much. And I'm like, Nick, this isn't me, I promise it's not me. That is not my quirk.
No, that's how you drive regularly.
Yeah.
It makes it a lot easier when I do. What's wrong? He's old.
Well, I'll jump off of Alex.
Yeah.
Mine's
my quirk.
I have very similar math related quirks. Like I'll be working out or doing something, and it's like I'm gonna do 15 or 10 reps or whatever. And it's like instead of like the numbers, I'll always like translate the number to the percentage.
Oh, like 10%.
Like I'm doing, yeah, like I'm doing,
30%.
okay, I'm going to do 30 of this. Like, okay, 3, 6, 9.
Oh
like,
yeah.
But I'll dual track it and I'll be like 4, 5, and then like 12, 15. Like I do it both. It's weird.
See, serial killer.
Killer.
Yep.
That's how you know. That's how we knew.
I did.
We knew it.
I did mental math competitions in high school, so just like it's kind of like in that vein.
That was something that they caught you and put you through, or you did that for fun?
For fun and scholarships and stuff like that.
Oh, throw in scholarships.
Money.
Yeah, just
Then
to
it sounds
try to put it
responsible.
back in,
Better.
put you back in your place.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Okay.
I represented Texas for scholarships.
Okay, I kind of have two. One is a little more common, so maybe not quite the serial killer vibe.
We'll be the judge of that.
Okay, and that's fine. But I thought of a second one that is more of the serial killer vibe, so go ahead and cover that as well. But my first one is chore ADD or like chore DD, where like I'll be in the middle of getting coffee ready in the morning, and it's not even like strategic or whatever. I'll just notice something else in the fridge that maybe I'm supposed to pack for my lunch or something for going into work or whatever. And then I'll grab that. I'll stop what I'm doing with the coffee and move on to packing my lunch and then be like, oh yeah, the coffee stuff that I was doing. And I'll go back to that. And so I will sometimes start a series of chores that all remain unfinished until I finish the last one like a Russian nesting doll and then start to work my way back.
Paul, if you ever were a serial killer, you could get away with a lot because you'd be hard to track. Be like, well, I think he was making coffee. Nope. He was actually down the street cleaning up golf balls. Like
That's trying to
Like,
have alibis all over the place. Okay, well,
Spreading yourself out.
sandwiches.
Like that's very serial killer. So
touche, I guess. Well, so the one that's more specifically serial killer, I remember learning some sort of like, it was some sort of Mensa like thing that was recommended to do in high school where you look at license plates and you look at the letters on them and try to see if you can make a word out of the 3 or 4 letters that are there. And what's extra hard is trying to do it where the first letter is not the beginning letter of your word. So you try like, if it's like PST or something, you try to do like apostrophe or something like that, right? So that you're not starting with that letter.
yeah.
But so now compulsively, if I'm driving, it's just every time I see 3 letters, I'm like, trying to figure out
they
a
think
word.
you're like trying to remember their like the license plate to find them later.
Well, I
like,
do
you're like,
follow
they'll track them or
closely.
something.
Kind of
Yeah.
like a mnemonic
Yeah, yeah.
device, but kind of a pointless one.
Yes, yeah, but it's just an
Just a
exercise.
fun game. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how we knew.
I got cut off by apostrophe again. What? I'll get him.
That one had FLT on it. Fault. Oh, that must be Alex Trevino's.
Wait, is that really his license?
No.
Okay. So, also too, and I feel like,
Yeah,
there's
I'm trying to be poignant and
Like a dog with a bone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You've nailed it. So one of mine is that, and this is neurotic. I think that's the right word. I can't drink a coffee if the seam of the cup isn't lined up with the seam of the paper piece around the back, and the holes are lined up where the mouth hole is directly opposite of the seams, to the point where I will reposition every coffee cup, no big deal. But I can remember one time starting to drink a coffee cup and setting it down, and I was looking around because I realized something was wrong and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And the lid, the plastic lid, the little hole in the back that allows for air to escape was not centered to the hole where my mouth would drink through. And I literally couldn't even consume this coffee because my brain went into shutdown. And I'll do it the same thing, like the label on your grandpa mug that you took from Todd Storch. The way you have it set up is perfect. Yeah, way to go, Grandpa.
Yeah, I'm the same way, obviously.
Yeah, like, but to the point where like somebody will hand me something and I will work on the whole reset of it. And if I can't make the thing tighten the way it's supposed to, I'm like, I can't drink this, consume this thing. So
like, look, when you're on trial, right, and the jury sees you like that with the cup, like they're gonna find you guilty.
That's right.
That's gonna be the tell right there.
Well, yeah, that gets really weird. And then the other one that I'll just share with you that I've never met anybody else in my life who has this, to the point where I've had doctors call me a liar, and I'm not a liar, is I have a spot on my chin that when rubbed causes a hiccup that is spontaneous to the spot, like a hair follicle. I found this in college one time. I had a face scrub, but it had like those beads in it. And when I went across that part of my chin, it made me hiccup. My kids have figured this out about 2 years ago, and when they're talking to me, they just sit there and start rubbing my face. And
What?
And the way they figured it out is by hugging me, their shoulder will rub my chin, and I hiccup. And I'm telling you, I didn't make this up. And it took me forever to one time find an internet thing where somebody said they had this too, and it had to do with some like exposed nerve somewhere. I have a hiccup spot. If you are a hiccup doctor or a researcher that is willing to pay money for hiccup research, please contact me at thebeatitudes.com for hiccup research.
How many of y'all are there in the world?
I'm looking for somebody.
You're the only one right now.
So far.
Wow.
I mean, it's
never heard of that.
I know. But that's not serial killer. That's just I don't
Pork.
know. I'm just saying, poor Jeff. I've been hiccuping since I was 20 years old. Wasn't always my fault. Now that I have kids, it's their fault. You know how that feels, don't you?
No.
No.
Just you.
Oh, jeez.
I could have seen you like just like a music video where it's like it's fading out and you're just like looking with your Texas. Would have been nice.
Yeah.
Just,
I'm going to ride off into the sunset hiccuping.
My mama always said. Yep. I thought you were going for some Forrest Gump thing there for a while.
Amazing.
All right, my friend, we're going to finish this episode out with Reverse Simpsons because why not throw something else in here? We finish every Monday episode differently than any other episode, just like The Simpsons, only completely different. They start episodes differently. So Reverse Simpsons today, ladies and gentlemen, the three of you are going to play along with this. I'm looking for one-word answers. It's kind of your first gut reaction to the question. We'll probably try to go in some sort of an order here, but I'm going to ask you to describe where you are in life with a specific part of life and what the first word that comes to mind, it could be 2 words, but like just describe where you're at with that thing. I'm not going to make this tricky or hard. Does this sound good to you guys?
Got
Okay.
this.
Yes.
Where are you at right now? We'll start down this order. Nick, over with fitness.
Weak.
Creatine.
I like that. Is it real?
I've tried it a little bit. I'm not like on it, but I've tried it.
You're going to bulk.
Yep. I'm gonna lean bulk.
Lean bulk. All right, good. Fitness. Good job, guys. You got it. Fun. Where are you at with fun?
Happy.
great.
Exhausted.
It's like your full time.
I mean, thankfully, yeah, I get to do
20 hours a day. Fun.
Yeah, and we actually had a belligerent guy on stage the other night, so that was
On
wild.
stage.
On stage. I'll have to. I mean, maybe that's a story for another time.
Yeah.
He started, just real quick, he started by getting up on stage, tossing his empty beer bottle onto our grand piano, and then swatting the football down in our sketch.
Wow.
Oh, he was belligerent. And yet somehow I got him to like smirk and smile by the end of it, and it ended up being a happy show. But the mood change in the audience was instant. It was wild. Anyway, yeah.
All right. That takes some real skill to work your way through there.
I don't know how it happened, but yeah, thanks.
How are you doing, Nick, on pop culture knowledge? And then Alex, who needs to take a breath.
Fine.
Fergie.
Fergalicious.
So I'm like 15 years behind.
Okay.
That's a great answer. Nick, how you doing on forgiveness?
Good.
I don't know. How do you say like could do better in one word?
You could say could do better.
Could do better.
What, say a Spanish word and I'll tell everybody that's what you said.
I don't know.
Cala mucho. He said it could be
poco
better.
más.
Yeah.
Un poco más. Muy bien.
Oh, I just said the name of some drink where you mix Diet Coke and red wine, but could be better.
Yeah,
I guess that means the
could be
same
better
thing.
too. Yeah.
It sounds like that drink could be better.
Fair to middling.
Fair to middling on forgiveness.
Yes.
Fair to middling. Thank you. And then last one. How you doing overall in your faith journey?
Improving.
I was gonna say that.
You can. It's
You
okay.
Improving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to point at him.
Well, you said it first. I gotta credit him. You know.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Mea culpa? No. I would say pursuit is probably the word.
That's
yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
Awesome. We encourage y'all play along at home. What is what's your one word answer to these questions? And feel free to go deeper into all your relationships, but especially in male fraternity with one another. How can you go deeper into the kinds of conversations you're having? And remember that one of the things that I think we embody on this show is the ability to be humorous, self-deprecating, taking fun shots like with and at each other, but never in a nasty way or in a way that's actually demeaning to the person. And if we ever have to do a check-in with each other, we do. So I would just encourage all the men out there to consider, what does it look like to model an authentic Christian relationship with other men? Because we are called to be that salt and light. And you guys do an incredible job with that. So thanks for your witness and your wisdom and your wittiness and all of the W's that you brought out for the Wawa show today.
But not the wins, because he gave up the sports.
Yeah, you
chose the show.
Chose the showbiz.
All right, Alex, we're going to be talking about family and faith in the bonus episode. Stick around for that on Friday, or if you're watching this later, click on that one. Any last bit of inspiration for the team out there, for the Beatitudes?
For the Beatitudes, yeah, just keep broing out. I think broing out, a lot of great ideas come from that. A lot of great inspiration comes from that. You know, I know my system of brohood, let's put it that way, is one of the shining lights in my life. And nice. I'm very blessed to have that in my life, and my wife very much supports that. That's something that, you know, is very important to me and my group of friends. And so that's something that, you know, I hold very dear to my heart. Well, and I encourage everybody to do the same. Your awesome wife lets you come up here for recording night, which we appreciate. And we are going to hear more about your wife and family on the bonus show. We will see the rest of you in the Eucharist, and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Spoke Street Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.